You're listening to Spark TV, where we bring you daily interviews with real women in business at all stages. I'm your host, Danielle Lewis, and I am so grateful to have you here. Amazing, Vishma. Welcome to Spark TV. I'm so excited to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me.
So good. I am already excited because I know that you're a go-getter. You only joined the Spark membership like days ago, and you've already literally jumped on everything, booking in your podcast recording, sending through an article, filling out your directory. Like, I love people that just get in and get the most out of it. So I'm already excited to chat to you and share your story.
Thanks. No, I do believe in action, so why wait around? And I'm really excited about being part of Spark. So I came across it like earlier this year, and I'm just glad that I've taken that leap.
So cool. Amazing. Well, let's start out by telling everyone who you are and what you do.
Hi. Okay. Well, hi everyone. I'm Vishma Mistry, and I am the founder out of Mystery of Words, which is a copywriting and a brand design business. So basically, I do copywriting for businesses with websites, social media, uh, print collateral, anything marketing based. So that could be capability statements and so on. And from a brand design perspective, I work with the psychology of fonts, colors, images to help brands, mostly startups and those that are sort of rehashing their brands, to sort of create a brand that's going to connect with their audiences. Because at the end of the day, I think whether we go like when we go out in the world and the way we shop or we connect with a brand or a business is through our senses and the colors and the images, and that's what kind of attracts our sort of sales mindset, like should I purchase this or not, before they even read anything further. So it's that instant connection that they have with the business. So yeah, and it all ties together with the words.
Oh, I love it so much. So, how did you even get into this?
So I was a marketing professional for over a decade. Had various marketing roles, and one of my last marketing roles was 7.5 years in an IVF company.
Oh, wow.
And during that period, I realized what my passion really was and what my strengths really were. And that was that passion for words and the colors and stuff. When I worked with web developers, like I was kind of like, there's something more beyond website builds than just having something technical out there and just going with the flow and putting words out there, or just styling things in a random way. So that kind of triggered sort of like interest in that whole psychology of colors and etc., and how everything works in marketing. And then yeah, writing was just a natural passion. I mean, I think in my mid 20s, I realized that I wanted to sort of pursue writing in some form. And yeah, it just so happened that I quit my job in 2021, well, 2022, sorry, December 2022, 2020, sorry. And yeah, it was sort of like I didn't have another job to fall back in or a safety net. It was just a leap that I had to take for various reasons, which I won't dive into. Uh, but yeah, no, it just fate had it that it put me on this path, and I was like, you know what, like, because I'd already kind of created a platform for sort of, I thought, like, so when COVID had hit, I had decided maybe just for a bit of extra pocket money, and carry on with my passion, I will create something on the side. And that's I'd started that, but when you go back into a job, you don't really take that on. And then yeah, fate had it that once I quit the job and I was applying for work at the time, and there's only so many jobs you can apply to, I decided I'm going to give this a shot, and here I am 5 years later.
Wow. Isn't that wild? And I mean, so interesting. Everyone has different stories, but you started something during COVID. but it wasn't really until you kind of took the leap and quit the job that things started falling into place. What was that transition like for you from going from, safe corporate job, paycheck, and then having to like actually go out and find clients? What was that transition like for you?
I think it was exciting. I was exciting yet nervous because I'm not uh, a full-on extrovert, I'll be honest. So,
Mm,
picking up the phone and making those cold calls, not the easiest thing, but it's something that you did. I think I've always kind of liked, because when you like what you do, it's easy to just get into it and you don't think twice.
mm,
And I kind of found joy in it. Like there was just a certain peace in that. And I've always been an optimist. I'm not like, because I always look at the fact that you could be in a job and you never know when you might get made redundant or
yeah.
let go for whatever reason, right? It can, but like being in a job can also be unpredictable. Um, Unfortunately, we don't think that way because we're, built to think that yes, jobs are secure, and they are. Don't get me wrong, like you've got that regular income, etc. Um, and but then yeah, it's just I think yeah, for me, it's just that passion just took me with its wings and yeah, I don't know how it happened. Like really, honestly, when something happens, it just happens.
I know. And it's so interesting, like hearing people's different experiences as to how it's worked out for them. Because I love that it can be different for everyone. Some people kind of do side hustle first, some people take the leap, some people like struggle for years, some people just like find their groove. So I just love sharing different people's experiences because I think that it is just so different in business. There's no kind of cookie cutter formula that you can follow. You really have to forge your own path, which to your point is so exciting.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm still navigating. I think like with any business, you have your ups, you have your downs, you have like you're always navigating new paths. So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned cold calling to get new customers. Is that a real thing? Did you really do that?
I did. I picked up so many phones, and that wasn't something very easy for me to do. And sometimes obviously, yeah, they just put the phone down on you.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
So, how else did you find your early customers? I mean, cold calling is like speaks to me because I'm a salesperson. But I'm so always fascinated as to how people get customers for their business.
Yeah, so obviously cold calling, and then I at the time I was doing a little bit because obviously with the marketing background I was able to sort of apply that into the website that I'd created at the time and any Google AdWords and so on.
Mm.
But I think the bulk of it also came from job boards. So I was
Oh,
a member
cool.
of the Clever Copywriting School run by Kate Toon. And I was like, honestly, that was really fabulous. So any copywriter that's, starting out, I would definitely recommend giving her website a go. She's got a lot of tips, lots of advice, and yeah, at the time the job boards worked fantastically for me. So again, it was a lot of pitching. So you don't just go in a job board and apply. It's not like Seek or Indeed or any of those platforms. It's more the case that you then have to write an email and put a strong pitch out there because you are still competing against others who are, others in the business that are trying to grab that job. So yeah.
That job boards is such an underrated idea. I was just, as you were talking, I was thinking back. So my previous business, Scrunch, was a marketing agency, and we picked up so much work from job boards as well. There used to be in Brisbane freelancing gems, and they
Yeah.
had a job board, and we used to get so much work from there. Just every day, like, is anyone looking for social media people, influencer people, content people? And we would just throw our hat in the ring for like everything. And yeah, we picked up so many big clients. It was so good. Yeah, I should put together a list of of job boards for people. That's
Yeah,
brilliant. I love
yeah.
that.
No, it's great, and I feel like it's kind of diffusing in a way because obviously,
Mm.
again, like I said, like the whole marketing system can switch within a flip, and you don't know when that's going to change. And I feel like, yeah, like um what works for you at one point won't necessarily work for you again. So I know that at one point that worked fantastic for me at one point at the beginning of my business, and now it's a whole different ball game. So yeah.
And how's your business evolved over time? That's a really interesting point. Like you're totally spot on. I like potentially a job board or cold calling or something works really well in the beginning, but then potentially you change your products and services or you change your customer type or you change this. So how's your business actually changed in terms of offerings and how would you go about acquiring a customer today?
I think so the way it's evolved is it's grown from just being a copywriter to then offering a whole comprehensive service. So I also then help them publish and manage their website with the SEO, the meta descriptions, etc. So with businesses, obviously you're busy, and then instead of just being a writer, I go in and I will go into your website. I'll put all that information in, make sure all the alt tags, everything's perfect, that goes with the copy, which is something that can often get missed. Like you can send a piece of copy and then that's it, and make sure that all the links are there, the backlinks, and so on.
Mm.
And at the same time, I think social media has grown drastically at the moment. At one point, it was more like you put little bits out there, static words, all of that was fine. And blog articles, I think now obviously everyone's going more for video, and there's personal conversations. Um, so in that sense, yeah, the business is evolving and my strategies are changing in that form as well. It's a navigation, and I think, yeah, it's just reaching new audiences at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've raised so many interesting like pieces of the puzzle when it comes to marketing. I think sometimes people get really trapped in, oh my God, I've just got to do a viral Instagram reel. But like you've talked about SEO, like making sure your website has the right metadata on it, blog articles, cold email. Like there's so many different marketing strategies that a business can actually um like try to grow their business. Would you have any advice for someone who's kind of wants to grow and is looking at potentially a copywriter or a marketing person? Like, where should they actually be thinking to start?
As a copywriter.
As someone who maybe wants to engage a copywriter, so if I
Okay.
was one of your ideal clients, what should I be thinking about for my business?
Well, I definitely, you need to have your why. Why are you doing what you could, why you want to do what you want to do to begin with.
Mm,
I think a lot of businesses come and they say, we want to start this uh, business because we've got the experience in it. Okay, that's fine. But why? Why do you want to do what you want to do? What is it that you're then going to offer? What is that story? The core foundation of what you're going to build, because that will then filter into the tone of voice, which is the first foundation of what you build. Like, that tone of voice also includes your values and so on. And that then feeds into, before you go into your words, it feeds into your logo and the colors and the fonts, because they're all talking to each other, which then filters into the words. So I think, somebody who's thinking of engaging a copywriter, if you might already have that foundation done, great. But yeah, if you're looking for a copywriter solely, then definitely look for somebody that has the experience, brings all the SEO elements, and I think somebody who can also help with the has website knowledge. I know that as writers, sometimes you can just be a writer, and there's
mm.
nothing wrong with that. But if you are a business wanting to connect with your audiences in a big way and build, then yeah, definitely, like, you need somebody who can understand some level of marketing, a level of how websites function, how Google functions, and so on, to build that
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah, because it almost sounds like, you need three elements. So, yes, the words are great, but you bring a level of strategy and technical to it as well. And I think that's the challenge. Sometimes, like as a business owner, we think, oh, I just need someone to write better words, like I just need, and it's almost like the brand photo shoot, right? Like it's the pretty stuff, but there's so much that goes into that strategy, uh, in terms of what are we actually doing here and who do you want to target. Yes, then the pretty words, but then also the technical execution, to make sure that it actually reaches the person and keeps the Google gods happy and all of those things.
Yeah, yeah. And I often feel like that gets overlooked.
Mm.
And some people think, well, we don't need a website, we'll just go through social media or word of mouth because their business has grown that way for so long. But your business is only going to grow so long in that manner for a while. Eventually, if you do want to grow, then yeah, you're going to need to make sure you've got all of these elements into place. And yeah, that's I guess where I come in. And I know there's a lot of people that like to do it themselves as well, so I do help them with that as well. Which I think is another element where my business is growing in the sense that I'm providing it's kind of in the works, but it started. The ball is rolling. I've had my first client with that already, where I sit down with you and have a one-on-one branding session. So that then helps somebody who wants to just do it themselves for budget reasons or whatever. And there might be a complete startup, and they might say, "Look, I just want to start off with my branding before I go any further." So I sit with them and go through like the psychology with the fonts, the colors and imagery, and how you want to build that logo, how you want to build the taglines that go with, and sit down with them in a session, and we go through that, and off they go confidently, and they can do their own work. Yeah.
I love that. And I mean, it's interesting you mentioned people that want to DIY things. What's your opinion on AI written content?
Oh God.
Controversial.
Controversial it is. Look, it's funny because it's a conversation that pops up in every networking event that I've been to as well. And anyone that I say I'm a copywriter to, they'll be like, "What do you think of AI?" Okay. Look, I always say to everyone like AI is more like an assistant. Always think of it as an efficient
Mm.
assistant that's there to help you out, give you ideas. Yes, it can help quicken some work by helping you build a foundation on something. But at the end of the day, you need to put your own brain power into what you are doing, because only that machine that we have is something that AI doesn't have. We have the empathy, we have the ability to imagine, we have the ability to connect one-on-one with people, and that's something that AI cannot do. It's not going to walk into your office and go, huh, okay, you know, this is the essence, this is the core, or get to know you as a person emotionally, and so on. So yeah, I would always say like, and I do find like the ones that do want to go with copywriting and you want to use AI, which a lot of businesses are doing at the moment. I would say that you do need to make sure you get it checked at least by a copywriter to make sure there's no plagiarism, it's edited perfectly, there's flow, there's structure, you know, there's creative words that are used in there, and words that are going to connect with your actual audience. So yeah, if you want to do it yourself, go for it. But do make sure you get, a copywriter to check it through. Otherwise, I have come across a few clients where initially they want to do it themselves, and then they'll come back a few months later and go, "Can you fix this, please? It's not working." So, yeah, I don't have anything against AI. Like I said, it's an assistant, it's growing, it's understanding, but it will never overtake your mind that you have. Yeah.
Yeah, I do love that sentiment because one of the words you used was like capturing your essence. And it's so true. Like, I find so much of the stuff that comes out of AI and so much stuff that you read where people have clearly used AI, it just feels cookie cutter, it just feels so like same, and a bit boring. And I think that, we've never lived in a better time to start a business, but there's never been more competition. So it's like the way to stand out is to actually be yourself and
Yeah,
actually understand your values, what you stand for, what customer you serve. And it is hard unless you really know how to use AI, or if you're a copywriter, or if you whatever, it's hard to get there. So I just love the idea of, okay, if you're going to DIY it, if you're going to use AI, how about maybe get a little expert opinion on the back end, get
yeah,
it checked.
yeah.
Because yeah, you really do have to like be yourself and make sure that your point of difference shines through your content.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's experience that as humans we have experiences, and that only flows through us, not through
Mm,
machines. So, yeah, and we can have that through a conversation, or, as a copywriter, I like to sit down with my clients and, have that deep conversation to understand what's what and why they're doing what they're doing and why they're pivoting even.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's so true. It's actually funny. That's why I lean into video, because I'm like, I mean, I was just about to say, because you can't replicate me on video, but oh my God, AI can do that now. But I'm like, that's why I'm leaning into video so much more now, because it's like, you just know it's me. And I think people almost love hearing the mistakes and the trip ups, and like almost seeing you like formulate things in your brain, because they know at least it's a real human doing it. It's not just cut and paste, which I
Absolutely.
think we're over all cut and paste already.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So, what do you think over your time as a business owner has been one of the biggest challenges for you?
Uh, the biggest challenge. Last year I had a stroke out
Oh
of the
my
blue.
God. That's fucking huge.
Yeah. It was out of the blue, so that meant I wasn't working for a year, and it was to the point that I couldn't speak, I couldn't write, I
Oh
couldn't
no.
read. But here I am today. Half of my limbs weren't working at that point, but they are perfect
Wow.
now. So yeah, no, I think that would be my biggest challenge, is getting myself back up into work, and not giving up. It's easy to go, this has happened, I'm going to give up. Especially when you're diagnosed with a rare disease and you're told you might want to manage your stress completely to the point that you don't do too much. But
Wow.
I'm not giving up. So that's where I'm also pivoting the work that I do, where I can also keep doing what I love doing, without having any damage done.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge. But oh look, I always just see it as something that positive that's happened, and it's helped me become even better and stronger than what I was before. So yeah, like I said, I'm an optimist.
Wow. Oh my God, that is such an incredible attitude for something that would have just been at the time, I can imagine, just like so like life changing, so frustrating, so challenging, and like just literally turn your world upside down.
Yeah, it does. And I think also, like, like, understandably, the clients that you have, or they have their reasons to move on because they've got work to be done and so on.
Mm.
So like I said, for me it's that the challenge of then re-picking myself up again from everything that
Mm.
I knew, to now going, okay, well, how do I rebuild this again with almost nothing there? It's, yeah, it's a challenge, but it's one that I'm willing to take. And it's your constant work. So uh, I look at this as an opportunity for background work that I can build to help others by building resources, building, one-on-one sessions that I can have to help other people grow their business in their own way.
I love that so much. That's so good and so incredible that you've taken something, that anyone could just throw their hands in the air and go, I just can't do this anymore. And you've gone, no, I'll find a way. I mean, like, and I can tell you're that kind of person, even by the way you've come into Spark and gone, I'm going to capitalize on every promotional opportunity and they like run with this. I just love people like that. So, congratulations on bouncing back on everything you've built already and, looking ahead to the future. I just think you are so impressive and I can't wait to share more of your story. It's incredible. I could talk to you all day, but I always love to wrap up these podcasts with one last piece of advice. So,
Mm,
reflecting on your time in business, what would
yeah.
be a piece of advice that you would give to another woman on her business journey?
Number one, never give up, because there's always going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be moments where you're going to doubt yourself. So even in those moments, just remember why you started and stay positive. Keep that child alive in you, definitely, because that child within you is that one that's fearless, has the imagination, can dream like all the magic in the world, that anything's possible, and will look beyond any darkness. Like we will, as business owners, you will almost feel like nothing's going anywhere, even if you're doing everything that you think you're doing. But as a child, you always go, nah, there's a way. And yeah, and just how kids always will, if somebody says no, to say why not. If somebody
Mm.
says no, you can't do it, just say why not, and find a way, and you will do it. So definitely that, and yeah, I guess just be you, just bring you to the business, because that is your authentic self, is what is your superpower, and that's what then your clients are going to connect with, and that's what's going to help you grow and have that support system around you, even when you feel a bit low or you feel like things aren't going where you hoped for going. So yeah, absolutely. And when one door closes, there's another one that opens.
Oh my God, I love it so much. You are just a wealth of positivity and, like bash down the doors. No one's getting in our way. I'm taking that energy into today. I had totally that day yesterday of just, well, I'm not making any progress. Everything sucks. And I'm taking all of your advice into my day today. And I'm bringing the joy and I'm bringing the why not energy. I love it.
Absolutely. And I have one more,
Mm.
which I was gonna say was, oh God, it slipped my mind now. Um,
Always the way. You'll remember it as soon as we hang up.
oh yeah, that's it. It's all right to ask for help.
Oh, yes, that's so good.
I think as women and women in business, we often go, no, I'll do it myself. I can do it myself. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with asking for help.
So true. I love it. Vishma, you are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your story and your wisdom with the Spark community. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And I really enjoyed our conversation. Thanks.
That wraps another episode of Spark TV. Shout out to Spark TV sponsor IP Australia for their amazing support of the Spark podcast and women in business. And if no one tells you today, you've got this.